Hey gamers, it's Joe the Apostate Cal here. I have gotten more requests to talk about the PlayStation experience than anything in recent memory. Not only messages here on YouTube, but I got messages on PSN from you guys. Oh, Joe, talk about the PlayStation experience. How come you haven't made a video? Okay, I'm going to do it, all right? The reason I didn't jump on this in the first place is I just didn't feel I had anything really significant to say. But by popular demand, I'll give it my best shot, all right? First off, let me just, full disclosure, I did not watch the PlayStation experience, nor did I watch the Game Awards. I have better things to do with my time than to sit through these fucking award shows, all right? Or these conferences. Really, the only conference I take time to watch more of is E3. You know, that I take more time, but with these, man, I watch the highlights, I watch, the announcement trailers, all the gaming websites, they collate a lot of the information into a shorter, easy to watch video or article to read. So yeah, I did get caught up on it. First off, for Final Fantasy fans, that really sucked, the whole thing that Square did where they kind of teased Final Fantasy VII Remaster for the PS4, but really it was just the previous PC port that I didn't even know existed. I'm not a Final Fantasy fan, but I know my brother is. He loves Final Fantasy VII, as a matter of fact. And so they're just porting over the PC port that apparently already isn't that impressive. And they're not doing some full remaster of the game. And that really pissed off a lot of Final Fantasy fans who really felt like they were, they got cock teased there, and I sympathize. That really sucks. Is it me or is Square really out of touch with their fans? I don't know. Yeah, I kind of think they have their head up their ass as a company right now, but that's neither here nor there. No Man's Sky, people are blowing their loads about No Man's Sky. I just don't get it, people. I don't know why everybody's excited for that game. It just, doesn't appeal to me personally. If it does to you, that's great. I'm just saying, I look at that game and I don't even know what it is. I just don't care. I can't muster up excitement for something I don't have excitement about, All right, let me get to the big issues. Well, first of all, let me just say that were there any announcements that got me excited? No. David Jaffe's game, I felt, to me it went over like a fart in the wind. Drawn to Death, all right, from the creator of God of War, a multiplayer-only arena shooter with drawings and a kid's notebook. Okay, I'm not saying it's going to be a bad game, and if you're excited for it, again, more power to you. Doesn't appeal to me, not one bit. All right, let's get to the two big things. First off, Uncharted. Now, the reaction to Uncharted, if you go to PlayStation's website, or not website, go to the PlayStation YouTube channel, the gameplay has gotten, I don't know, I think it might even be at 3 million views by now. I know it was at 2 point something last I checked. It's getting tons of views and overwhelmingly positive reaction. Not surprising. But there is a vocal minority here on the internet that were, of course, trying to tear the game down, saying that it's been downgraded. Okay, I'm not sure how you downgrade a game of which we are seeing the first gameplay. What am I missing here? Oh, you mean that teaser we saw at E3 that said, yes, it was being rendered with PlayStation 4 hardware or dev kits, but was a teaser. That's probably not even going to be in the game itself. That was just to whet people's appetites, to give people an idea. It wasn't like, hey, look at the gameplay. No, that's what this was at the PlayStation experience. E3 was just a teaser. Oh, but it was downgraded. It was downgraded. Okay, first of all, I would argue, if so, barely. Barely, because it looked damn close to what we saw. Bear in mind, the lighting was very different, and what we saw, I thought the footage looked amazing. But here's the thing. To me, the way I look at Uncharted and Naughty Dog is, if I can make an analogy, I'm going to show my age here. It's like when Meryl Streep is in a movie, okay? Meryl Streep's an actress that's been around for decades and decades in Hollywood, and she's one of the greatest actresses in the history of movies. Meryl, I never say, and I really don't know anybody who ever says, whenever they see a movie that Meryl Streep's in, and even if the movie's bad, no one ever says, wow, Meryl Streep was really good in that movie. No, you know why they never say that? Meryl Streep is good in everything she does. Meryl Streep can't be bad. She's a born actress. She's incredible. And that's sort of how I feel like it's Uncharted. Of course it's good. It's Naughty Dog. Of course it's good. That's my view on it, really. Okay, while I was, I was excited. I liked what I saw. It looked like Uncharted at the next level. The foliage and the water effects looked incredible. The combat, as usual, looked awesome. I liked the grappling hook thing. And, we saw 13 minutes of what's probably going to be an 8 to 10 hour game. But what I saw, I liked. But again, Uncharted, if you were impressed with Uncharted 4, I have 3 other things I want to point out to you. Uncharted 1, 2, and 3. Okay? Uncharted's already been awesome. It's just going to be, awesome again on the PS4. It's probably going to be the last installment, which kind of depresses me. But then again, I don't want it to go on and on and ad infinitum, and end up going to shit as a result. A la franchises like Resident Evil, etc. So, I liked what I saw. I did. I don't really think a downgrade is an issue at all, because this is the first real gameplay we saw. Now, if when the game comes out it doesn't look as good as this, or we see some trailer just before it comes out and it doesn't look as good as the gameplay we just saw, that will be a downgrade. This is not a downgrade, because all we saw was a goddamn teaser at E3, and it wasn't even that far off from that. So, yeah, not into this whole downgrade thing. The Order 1886. Every time I see footage from this game, I get simultaneously more interested and more discouraged at the same time. First off, it looks like the black bars aren't going anywhere. I'm going to have to live with that. I really hate this new thing of putting black bars on video games. But, okay, fine. I'll live with it. But the other thing is that while I like the gameplay, and let's get this out of the way too. It's a lot of people are saying, what is the Order 1886? What's the core gameplay mechanics? And I think it's very obvious now. It is a third-person cover shooter, okay, much like the shooting in Uncharted, or without the platforming, or like a Gears of War or Mass Effect. Yeah, it's a third-person cover shooter, and that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. In my book, that's a good thing. However, my issue is twofold. Number one, it still looks like the characters are dry. The game looks humorless. It looks like it's very stiff. I don't mean animations are stiff. I mean the personality of the game seems stiff. Granted, it's only, we've only seen a little bit of gameplay, but that's another problem I have. Why is it that I saw 13 minutes of Uncharted, but now we only get, 4 minutes of the Order, and previously we had like 2, so like we have a grand total of 6 minutes we've seen of this game? I'm still very much on the fence. But, of what I saw, I liked it overall. I liked the slow-mo, kind of almost bullet time, Red Dead sort of like, we freeze and like shoot one guy really fast in slow motion and everything. That was kind of cool. But what was up with the Call of Duty-esque dude bro call-outs? Okay, I am not liking that. What do I mean? This is a game that takes place in Victorian England, and yeah, it's anachronistic. It's got steampunk elements, which is really cool, but it's supposed to be 1886 England. And these guys are yelling out, enemy down, rebel neutralized, reloading. Really? Are you fucking kidding me? I was all but waiting for them to say, get to the LZ, get to the chopper. What is up with these dude bro fucking call-outs, man? That totally took me out of it. They should not be yelling that shit out, man. I find that annoying in military shooters, let alone in a game that is supposed to be transporting me to this other kind of alternate history world. The Order 1886 has some great ingredients. This steampunk world, this kind of, these intelligent lycanthrope werewolf monster characters, and then you got these human enemies. I don't know how they play into it. But, it's got some cool ingredients. The game certainly appeals to me. But I am still on the fence. I'm not like, yeah, I'm going to go out and pre-order this. No. This game has to prove itself, man. It's not only is it a new IP, but Ready at Dawn, a developer, is really only known for the God of War prequel PSP games. This is their first big console game, And I am just, they got to prove themselves, so I am going to wait for reviews. I'm not pre-ordering this game unless something happens between now and then that really sells me on it, Other than that, what else happened to the PlayStation experience? Well, the whole Street Fighter thing. You guys, if you follow my channel, you know how I feel about that. I don't like these multi-plats going exclusive. And that's really it. I don't know what else to talk about. I mean, it wasn't too much else that got me excited. No real new significant announcements, and as a PlayStation fan in general, I was disappointed. I already knew about Uncharted and The Order. Liked what I saw, but the point is, Bloodborne is going to be good for people that are into those games. I'm not into those Dark Souls, really punishing gameplay type games. But for people that are, it looks like it's going to be badass, yeah. So, but that's it. I don't know what else to say, guys. Those are my rambling thoughts on the PlayStation experience. All right, talk to you guys later.